pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Pear. I just want to start today by just letting you know that we do have a request that has come to me from a group that represents a private school in Marlborough, and they're looking to expand and open a new elementary school for international students within city limits. In reviewing the guidance on the DESE website, the first suggestion is to adopt a policy to approve new schools. Understanding the last time we brought this forward that it was tabled indefinitely, I understand that, but it does put me in a bit of a quandary because I can't engage them in a process to approve a new school without having a policy to do so. So my request is to bring this policy back to the subcommittee and potentially talk about some amendments so that we can bring it back to the full committee. And this school is looking to open in September, not of this year, but of next year. So we do have time. However, with international students, there are significant federal regulations and not just state ones. So the better that, not the better, the faster we can get it in front of policy and possibly back in front of the school committee, it would be helpful for me to engage these folks and do it in a positive way. Student Opportunity Act guidance. I included the guidance with my report so that everyone could see what the new requirements were going to be under the law that was passed. I'll begin diligently to meet this requirement. I am going to have a public meeting that is part of the new law, and it is going to dovetail quite nicely with our budget process. So I would anticipate at the end of March, I would be posting and having a public meeting and inviting many constituents to come to that meeting and talk about how we are proposing to use our resources moving forward. So that is something that we have to do. It's not a choice. I can't opt out of it. I can't send in a written notice. I have to hold the meeting, present the plan, and then send it back to the commissioner. Just want to update on the redistricting meetings. The following meetings are set. Tomorrow night, we're going to be visiting the Kane PTO at 6:30 p.m. On March 3rd, we're going to be visiting the LPAC at the Whitcomb Commons at 6:45. March 4th, we're going to be visiting the JARC PTO at 6:30 p.m. And we're going to be visiting here with the ECC PTO on March 26th at 6:30 p.m. as well. And just want to thank everyone for coming the other night. We had our first meeting at Richer, and we fielded a lot of good questions and a lot of things I'm following up on right now. Additionally, I'd just like to let you know that Mr. Diaz has worked to put several of the maps, the street listings, and the overlay map on our website. So if anyone needs to access anything, please just go to it's on the front page of the website. You don't have to click anything. You can just scroll down. It's right there on the front page, and you can find all 4 documents. So thank you to everybody. And again, tonight is budget night, so we delivered the FY21 budget to you, the superintendent's request. Thank you to Mr. Diaz for working hard on this and accepting my last-minute changes, and by last minute, I mean 5 o'clock. So I appreciate Doug's ability to work on the fly and make sure that we get this in your hands tonight. I look forward to your feedback on it, and on February 26th, we have our first budget workshop at 6 p.m., which will be here in this room. And that's it. I'd like to withdraw my 5th item tonight and request that the school calendar be withdrawn from the agenda as well. Thank you.
Questions for the superintendent? Ms. Matthews.
The elementary school, what were the grades that they were looking to do, the international students?
In elementary, I believe they're looking K through 6, but I can check on that. But there is a strong desire to have an elementary program to dovetail with the existing secondary program that exists, that already exists within the city.
Oh, so this is a partnership with the,
Yes.
Okay, got
Yep.
it, thank you.
They're still working kinks out. They have a little ways to go, so.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know if it was a standalone, brand new.
No. Any other questions for the superintendent? I entertain a motion to move, ask to the policy committee to review the private school policy.
Motion to review the private school policy.
Motion made and seconded to refer to the policy committee. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Opposed? Carries.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning.
Thank you. Attached to my report, you will find the January 21st catalog of professional development offerings for all MEA members. As I mentioned last month, elementary staff received targeted professional development in the morning, and all K-5 staff met with their FY21 colleagues in building-based activities in the afternoon. In addition to the choice sessions available to MEA members, Director of Student Services Jody O'Brien scheduled behavior technicians and paraeducators in targeted sessions, including 2 that were offered to teachers. One of these sessions was focused on cultural proficiency, and the other addressed how to support students with high-functioning ASD. Both of these sessions were presented by Massachusetts Partnerships for Youth. Selected support staff were also scheduled in 2 full-day sessions of safety care training. Finally, approximately 30 staff members from Whitcomb School, Marlborough High School, and Hildreth School attended a training titled Youth Mental Health First Aid. This 8-hour training gives adults who work with youth the skills they need to reach out and provide initial support to adolescents aged 12 to 18 who may be developing a mental health or substance use problem, and help connect them to the appropriate care. Also, once again, we will be asking all employees to complete an online training provided by the Alice Training Institute. Our goal is to have all school employees complete the Alice Basic Certification for schools. All MEA members will complete the module during upcoming staff meetings. Paraeducators, behavior technicians, and office support will have this training scheduled during the March early release day. This training is a review for the majority of staff, and we will maintain our certification status through this training. We will also submit documentation of our drills and copies of our Alice Emergency Operations Plan. Any question?
Question from the committee. Any questions from the committee?
Thank you.
Question from the committee. Thank you very much. Public participation. Any public participation? Public participation. Seeing none. FY21 school calendar.
Motion to table, please.
Motion made and seconded to table. All those in favor? Opposed? Carries. Policies for removal.
Motion to table.
Motion made and seconded to table. All those in favor? Opposed? Carries. Policies for first read.
In the absence of Ms. Hennessy, I'm going to try to do this right, so I've got 2 people on this side will elbow me, I'm sure, if I make a mistake, so I can be all set. So these obviously are for first read, and the first one is 2.10, which is the school committee operational goals. As usual, strikeouts are leaving us and red ones are being added, so that's a pretty standard form for this type of thing. Policy 2.4 is public participation. We're asking to remove that one only because we're asking to replace it with the next one, which is 2.450, which will be, if you look at it, you'll notice that this is basically what MASC has suggested as a replacement. Also, I'm not sure if in this particular, I don't know if you're interested, I know that the superintendent, if it's not in the packet, has our attorney's interpretation of everything, which came boiled down to what MASC said, so it's kind of, we've got information we need there for all of that. Scrolling down, sorry, there's a lot of publication there. Okay, the next one is student activity accounts, 3.610. Superintendent is asking us to make some changes, and we've agreed to make some changes in the amounts of money in the high school and middle school, and we're eliminating the elementary school activity account because basically those things are taken care of as they go along, and we don't really need the account there. Next one is the security camera system policy, which is fairly extensive, as you can see.
Very recent, too. We just did this one.
Yeah. And you can always tell it's extensive and recent because the print is very small. That's how you can usually tell that they're new. I've been finding that out as I go along here. Next one is 5.4, which is policy of public conduct on school property. There's been a few things added here based on the fact that progress has been made or not being made, depending on how you look at it, and the things that are now being used or abused in the world. Those just a few things been added. Policy 5.50, motor vehicle idling. This one, again, I think is this is a new one as well, is it not?
We recently had adopted the anti-idling. It's a statute under MGL, and we have put up the signs across all of our buildings and encourage people not to idle their cars unless in their extreme conditions, whether too hot or too cold. I think with this one, we were just putting it in the correct format for our policy book.
All right, and the last one for first read is 5.600, which is animal and school policy in our school facilities. It's pretty much describes what animals are allowed and what certain terms for animals mean. And that's also a fairly new one as well, I think.
Yep.
So those are the ones we are recommending for first read. So
And
that's,
these will lay on the table
table,
until the next regularly scheduled meeting, so not to be taken up for a final vote. Item D, policies for second read.
a motion to table.
Motion made and seconded to table. All those in favor? Opposed? Carries. Donor's Choice Gift to Whitcomb School, grade 5, $346.01.
Motion to approve.
Motion made and seconded to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Opposed? Carries. Reports of subcommittees. Any reports of subcommittees? Any reports of subcommittees? Seeing none, members forum. Ms. Matthews.
I have reviewed the warrant and signed it with Mr. Diaz.
Thank you very much. Any other members want to be heard?
Actually, this is a question I could have asked outside of this meeting. I apologize for not. In terms of the budget, what is our procedure? Just so I know.
Sure. So we're going to hold a budget hearing on February 26th, and that gives us about 2 weeks from now for you to review the budget and come up with any questions. Feel free to send any questions to either Mr. Diaz or myself in the meantime, and we can prepare for them. But we have a budget workshop that we do here. It's open to the public, and we can answer questions at that time as well.
Okay.
And then in March, we will officially place the budget back on the agenda for the school committee to approve, and then we have to have a public hearing on the budget, which usually happens by the end of March. After we have the public hearing, there's a final vote, then we send the budget to the mayor's desk.
Thank you.
And then after the mayor has his say in the budget, it then goes to city council, and usually by June, we have a budget.
Good. Any other members?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor? Opposed? Carries. Thank you very much.